You're sitting? Okay, good. Alright, so our objectives today are going to be continuing with our self-portraits. Okay, you have 6 classes only to go, but you've got, in that time you have to do criterion D as well, evaluating. So on your portraits you only have a maximum of 3 classes to go, including this one. Okay, so primary objectives today are to skillfully and thoughtfully apply oil pastels to your self-portraits, and you need to aim to try to make them look three-dimensional. Three-dimensional. Okay, so how are you going to make your artwork look three-dimensional, Vivi? How are you going to make your artwork look 3D? Yeah, using shadow and what?
Using shadow and highlights.
Shadow and highlights, yes. What did we agree on for the shadows? What kind of colours for shadows? Do you remember, Vanit?
Cool.
Cool colours, for example? Blue and green are good ones. Are they likely to be dark blues and dark greens, or light blues and light greens? Or, you think light blues, light greens?
Depending on how light the shadows
What do you say, Seth?
are. Depending on how light the shadows are.
Depends on how light the shadows are. Okay, yeah? So you need to look at your photos, right? Keep looking at your photos. Don't just draw what's in your imagination. Look at your photos. So if the shadows then, like this example on the whiteboard, if the shadows, Dieter, are going to be cool colours and say darker colours, what will the highlights be? Dieter, what will the highlights be? Will they be cool colours also? What will they be? Okay, they may be warm colours, for example. Yellow. Any other warm colours you can think of, Sakada? Orange, yes. So they may be warm colours, or what other kind of colours might they be? So if we look at some of the examples here, this one for example, some of the highlights, they're not just warm colours, are they, Judy? What other kind of colours do we see on this one? How would you describe that colour there? Let's not talk about warm and cool now, let's think of another word.
Natural light.
Natural colours, right? Skin tone. Yes or no? Do you remember that?
Yes.
So that's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a combination of warm colours and skin tone for the highlights. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so raise your hand if you think that you're going to be finished the face part of your portrait today. Okay, that's a bunch of you. Okay, so we're prioritising the face, and then we need to move on to other parts of the portrait. Is there anyone who's going to be ready to do the background, do you think? Probably not. But you very likely are going to want to have some value transitions, even when you're doing the highlighting and the shadows. So when you're doing the highlights or the shadows, let's say, as in this case, we have some orange transitioning into yellow here. So you want to be able to blend one colour into the other colour, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, and ideally, you won't just have a shadow very dramatically transitioning into, or not transitioning, but next to a highlight. You want there to be some transition between the two. Yes or no? So it looks more natural, right? So actually a good example is over here. In fact, everyone stand up. Let's just go over and have a look at this one. His shadow into the skin tone. So what he doesn't have is like an island of blue next to the skin tone he's chosen. He's blended it very carefully, spent a lot of time and thought, transitioning from the shadow into the highlight. Make sense, everyone? Okay, so that's something that you all want to aim to do as well. Okay, in a minute I'm just going to give you a demonstration about blending and transitioning. But let's just go. The next step after doing the face, after doing the features on the face and the skin tones, the highlights and shadows, the next step is very likely to be the hair. Okay? So I think last time we discussed some of these who did a really great job on the hair and were able to show the shine on their hair really effectively. So which artworks did we point out before as being good? Tita? The top one, Vatani's, yeah, and also, yeah, the one Anna's, right. So what is it that they've done well with their hair, Bud? Anyone?
Making them like shine where your highlights are.
Yeah, making the shine look really natural. What is it about that shine then that's good?
Like it transitions like right into darker color.
Exactly, the transition from the black or almost black to almost white is really very carefully done. You can tell that Vatani has looked very closely at her photo. Okay, so don't forget, this is a hugely important message. You need to spend probably as much time or even more looking at your photo than looking at your drawing. If you're too focused on your drawing, looking at your drawing, you'll very often start using your imagination. Okay, and that looks very clear when you do your artwork. So please, look at your photo and pay close attention to how those highlights in the hair look. What colours did Vatani use in her hair, do you think?
Black,
There's some black there for sure.
white, gray,
There's some white
blue.
and blue. I think those are the three colours that she's used the most. Okay, any questions about what your targets, your objectives are today? Any questions? Okay, let's just go around the group then. You tell me one by one what you're going to be working on first. Go. Face. Face. Okay, so I'm just going to we'll go back, I'll do a quick reminder about how to do those value transitions, and then you can get down to working on your portraits, okay? All good? Right. Okay, so I just want to go through just the process of doing a value transition. So let's say you've got a section of your face which is going to be highlighted. You're going to use some, perhaps some orange transitioning to yellow, and then you want to put some, let's just have a look at this. Some skin tone in there. Okay, so if I'm transitioning from this orange to what I might consider the skin tone for me here, okay, you want to start off strong where the orange is, and then it wants to fade out. Okay, then I'm going to bring the yellow in and blend that in. Gradually less pressure as it approaches the orange. You can go back over here. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat that process where I'm kind of bringing the yellow into this skin tone. So I'm relieving the pressure as the yellow moves towards the skin tone, and then I am doing the same in reverse into the yellow. Okay, so now we have like a pretty good transition. I've not even used the blending stump yet. So the next step is bring in the blending stump when you're happy with the transition. Could I have a blending stump, Miss Mara? Thank you very much. Perfect. Okay, and then ideally you don't want to see specks of white showing through. So if there are some, you're going to have to bring in a bit more oil pastel just to fill in those specks of white. Really, we don't want any paper showing through, folks. So that's a quick reminder to you how to make a pretty smooth value transition. Any questions about that? Raise your hand if you feel confident that you can do a smooth value transition. Yes? Okay. All right, folks. Good luck. Let's get down to it.